So gross. Oh my god. And holy shit. What the fuck? What did you do? Girl, you need therapy. Hello, or should I say konnichiwa? So welcome to a new video. My name is Smriti and today I'm going to be reading 3 Japanese thrillers slash mysteries. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I just have not been feeling the greatest. So I have been itching to read a book that will sort of like take me into a new world. It's fast paced. And I thought that the best thing to do for that is to read thrillers. And I, in particular, really wanted to read this book, which is Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka. I read The Bullet Train by Kotaro Isaka last year and really enjoyed it, but I also have some other Japanese thrillers that I really wanted to read. So I thought of making this a like ranking video, which is what I used to do last year. I really enjoyed doing that. Essentially, what I did was I came up with 5 criteria, which I think are essential to a thriller crime mystery book, and these 5 criteria are here, which are essentially plot, character, writing, pacing, and suspense. I think that these 5 things are critical to a thriller crime mystery book, and they really like make it. So essentially what I do is I read the book and then I rate it from the from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, and then I see which one with rank them based on the numerically, I guess. But what I also do, by the way, is I do like this prediction sort of thingy as well, where I try to see which one I think is going to be the actual ranking. So yeah, I then end up being extremely wrong about all of them. Whatever videos I've done in the past, just terribly wrong, but it's super fun to kind of do. But before I tell you what my predictions are, I should probably tell you the other 2 books that I plan to read, and that is going to be Penance by Kanae Minato. I read Confessions by Kanae Minato last year and absolutely fell in love. I was just like, Jesus, she is twisted. So yeah, I want to read another book by her, so I will be reading that one, as well as a book by Keigo Higashino, I think. He is this really prolific Japanese writer who I have not read from. He has a lot of like these series with like detectives and stuff. So I have one book which is The Devotion of Suspect X that I've had on my Kindle for a really long period of time, so I'm hoping to read that one. And then yeah, see what I think. So I think in terms of predictions, I think that Penance by Kanae Minato is going to be my number 1, followed by The Devotion of Suspect X, followed by Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka. I'm hoping that all of them are awesome and all of them are fast-paced and just take me into another world where I don't know, escape, essentially. I just, yeah, love doing that. But before we begin into the vlog section aspect of this, where you see my detailed thoughts, hopefully, about the books, I wanted you to leave me some of your suggestions. So if you have any books, not only Japanese mystery, crime, thriller books, but just in general, if you have any suggestions for mystery, crime, thriller books from all over the world, whatever that may be, just leave them down in the comments because I like reading them. So yeah, that's all for now, and I think you guys should now head over to the vlog section. Okay, bye. So I have decided to pick up this book, which is Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka, because I just bought this recently. You can see the video in which I hauled it for my birthday, and yeah, I've been wanting to read this because I read The Bullet Train by the same author, Kotaro Isaka, and I really liked it, as you can see at the amount of tabs that this one has. I really thought that it was super fun and like fast-paced and engaging and like had a lot of twists and a lot of like what is going on stuff happening. And I wanted the same sort of thing from another book. And yes, this is the same Bullet Train that has been made into a movie with Brad Pitt. I have not seen it, but I want to, so hopefully it'll come on to some OTT platform soon and I will be able to watch it, because like, I don't know, I'm not really going out or anything, so Yeah, anyway, this book is basically following three assassins, as this one says. Basically, one is called the Whale, who is this guy who basically convinces people to kill themselves. Like, he just sits in front of you and then says stuff to you, and then you kill yourself somehow. So that's interesting. He basically convinces you to do that by like saying like, hey, I'll kill the rest of your family or stuff like that. The other guy is this guy called the Cicada, who is essentially this guy who is really good with knives. And the other guy is this guy called the Pusher, who basically pushes people into like traffic, and that's how like people die. And the fourth person that we're following is this guy who's trying to seek revenge on someone who has killed his wife, who is a maths tutor. Like, he is a maths tutor, and his wife died 2 years ago, and he is like trying to get into like the contract killer world to try to seek revenge on the person who actually did kill his wife. So that is basically what we're doing. We're following three different perspectives right now. One is of the maths tutor guy, the other one is the Whale, and the other one is the Cicada. And then right now I'm about 100-ish pages in, and like all of them are at some point in time gonna like come together, because they're all while talking about the same sort of things that are happening. I don't want to spoil anything or what happens, but yeah, it's been really fun again. I think that like pacing wise, it's really well done. I like the three different perspectives. I also think that Kotaro Isaka is a really smart guy. Like, he not only keeps it like, oh, shit's happening at all point of time, but also like he talks about things in the world, and like has his own like philosophizing. I think that's how I would like to put it. But yeah, I am going to continue reading this shindig and then get back to you with my thoughts. But yes. Good morning! I have finished reading The Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka. I am not picking up the book right now because my hands feel weird. I don't know how to explain this to you, but yeah, essentially they're numb and my joints just feel icky.
Everything hurts, and I'm dying.
I told you, we're in my sickness era. Uh, but I finished the book and I'm here to talk to you about it. So let me just tell you what I thought of it based on the criteria that I have. So the first thing that we have is a plot. I'm going to give this a 7.5. And why a 7.5 and not higher is, even though I found this one to be extremely entertaining and fun to read, I didn't like the ending as much. I mean, like the explanation for like what was happening and who was doing things, etc. um I just felt like there could have been a better explanation for it, and I wasn't quite pleased. It didn't ruin my mood while reading it. I was just like, okay, so that's what it is. So yeah, so 7.5 for that, but overall I still thought that it was very entertaining. So next we move on to characters. Again, I'm going to give this like a 7, because here's the thing, it is a short book, right? It's about 250 pages, so it's fine that like characters won't like completely spoken about and we got to know way too much more about them, but I still thought that it was really good. Like, we kept jumping between three characters essentially. So yeah, I mean, it was still good, but it wasn't like excellent and like a deep character based sort of thing. It was more plot based. So yeah. Next, writing. I think writing, I'm going to give this an 8. I really liked the way that he wrote the book, and it was fast and witty, but it also had a lot of like, as I said, like philosophizing sort of stuff. So in between all of these like really intense like maneuvers and stuff that was happening, we also got to hear what people thought about the world and like capitalism and like all of that sort of stuff, which like I appreciated, and it didn't feel like off-putting, like it was just randomly inserted. So I think like an 8 or 8.5 maybe for writing. Next is pacing. Pacing, I'm gonna give this a 9 because I was like completely hooked and wanted to know what was happening. It went by really fast as well, and I was just enjoying my time reading it. So 9 for sure in terms of pacing. It was a well-paced, fast-paced book. And the next one is suspense. Okay, so for suspense, I think I'm going to give this an 8 because even though there wasn't like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, even though there wasn't like, oh, we're waiting to see this one big thing being revealed, it just still felt like very suspenseful because like each thing sort of left off at this like hook where you thought that like something was gonna happen and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen to this guy? Oh, what's gonna happen to that guy? So the suspense of that remained, but there wasn't like an overall mystery that we were trying to solve anything, if that makes any sense to you. But yeah, overall I enjoyed this book. I think I'm gonna give this a 4-star overall. I would still recommend this for a quick short read that was enjoyable and fun. So yeah, there's that. Now I am going to go and read another book and then come back to you, and hopefully my hands will be working at that point of time. Hello and welcome to an extremely rainy day. I don't know if you can see outside right now, but it is pouring cats and dogs. And I have started reading The Devotion of Suspect X by Keigo Higashino, I think. Basically, I asked a bunch of y'all on Instagram if there's any Japanese thriller, whatever, that I should read, and a majority of you, like I think 6 or 7 people, said like I should read either this book in particular or like any books by this author because he's a really prolific author in the crime mystery thriller genre. I know he has a bunch of like series, and this is the first of the English series. So The Devotion of Suspect X is the first of the books that were translated from English. It is the third in the overall Japanese things, though. I don't know why that's a thing, but like I have this information, so I'm giving it to you as well. But yeah, that's basically where we at. I have started reading it, and it is really interesting. So, like in the first few, like okay, I'm listening to it as an audiobook, and in the first few like chapters itself, we basically get to see the crime. So it's interesting because I've never seen a book where we are seeing the crime being done, then being covered up, and then we're also seeing the detectives trying to figure out who did the crime. So, like, we as a reader are completely in the know, but the others are like, oh, what's going on? I don't know. This is like the first time this has ever happened, so that's interesting. A lot of people really like this book, and I'm really liking it too because like it's super intense. But I'm just like, where are we going with this? What is happening? I've never really seen it like this before. But what else do I have to say to you? Oh yeah, this book has been made into many adaptations. So that's one thing that a lot of people have been talking about. That like this one is the like adaptation is coming up like on Netflix with like Kareena Kapoor, which is interesting. But also a lot of other adaptations of it have already happened, like versions of it in Tamil and then in Hindi with Drishyam and like all of that sort of stuff. So anyway, that's what it is. I don't know if you can hear the thunder because I had to like put on this mic, but it's crazy out there right now. But yeah, that's all I have for you right now. I'm gonna go back to my really fun audiobook. I'm really liking it. And then get back to you. Welcome to another really gloomy day here in Bombay. It has stopped raining now and there is zero sun outside, so that's nice. But what's also nice is that I finished reading the Devotion of Suspect X, and holy shit, what the fuck? I did not see that coming. So I don't know. I just was reading this book and I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like the pacing wise, I was just like, what is happening? Because we know, like, who killed the person. We know the detective sides as well, so we just know like both ends, and like that's interesting because it feels like this cat and mouse chase or something. And then like it was really funny because I had put up a story that I was reading this book on my Instagram. If you don't follow me, you should. And like this friend of mine, Ridu, she like messaged saying, oh my god, I love this book. And I was like, yeah, I mean it seems fine, but we already know what's happening, right? So she was like, haha, just you wait. And then that was interesting. I finished it and I was like, oh, didn't see that coming. But I do have to say, I mean, like, I guess other people also kind of figured, but I figured the mystery, the thing of it, when a certain someone follows another certain someone and they show that someone this one area. I don't, if you have read the book, you would know what I'm talking about. If you have not read the book, you're just like really confused, but that's fine. I like this book. I thought that like in the middle pacing, okay, wait, we're gonna go about it based on my criteria. So the first thing that we have is plot, and for plot I'm gonna give this an 8.5 because it was great to see like a book where we got to see both perspectives of like what's happening and all of that sort of stuff. And like obviously there were things that we didn't know of which came in later, and like I just liked that we were getting, like, we were the ones in the know, you know, and like the other people were trying to figure out like how to deal. I just thought that like it was interesting, and I like that part of it. But yeah, I think 8.5 is like a good score with regards to that, because I'm gonna jump into another criteria, which is pacing. Pacing wise, I think I'm gonna give this, what have I written down, I think a 7.5, because it's not like the pacing was bad or anything. I'm not saying like it was bad, but in the middle I was just like, where are we going with this? We kind of know what's happening. Now we're just like seeing both of them figure it out, or like more like the detectives figure it out, and the rest are just like, I don't know. I was just like, okay, cool. So I don't know. 7.5 seems like good because it wasn't the most like, I want to read, I want to know. I was just like, oh, okay, cool, this is interesting, this is fine. And then yeah, that's what I thought of it. Next I'm gonna go into characters, back to like the regular criteria way I do things. Anyway, criteria of characters, I'm gonna give it 8.5. This was very character driven. I mean, not character driven, but like you got to know the characters really well. Mainly the main like 2-3 characters, which is like the maths guy, the lady, and the detective Galileo fellow. Like those are the 3 people. More like the first 2 are who you get to know more as people, and they are like the most important ones. So like I think that was cool. So I don't know, I'm gonna give it a 8.5, even though the side characters, it was fine. I think what really helped me was the audiobook and the narration. I felt like the person put like different voices, so like you got to see like the intonations and all of that sort of stuff with the audiobook, so that like really helped me. So maybe that's why I'm giving it a higher rating than what I actually think it is. But anyway, that I think some parrots just went by, so if you heard that, good for you. If not, then you have my mic to thank, not thank, I don't know. Okay, next we have writing. I'm gonna give it an 8. I thought that it was good, but also like in between, as I said, I was just like, where are we going, what's happening? And then suspense, I'm gonna give it an 8. Again, I feel like if this thing that happened didn't happen, it would have been like way lower, because technically there's no suspense. We're in the know all throughout. We're just like, okay. But it was very like I wanted to know what was gonna happen next, because like all these, like especially in the beginning when like stuff was going down, I was just like, what is happening? Because in the beginning, like, just a lot of shit happened. So I don't know. I have spoken for a long time now, so I'm gonna shut up and get back to all the things that I have to do today, because I have to take care of myself medically, and just generally also just relax, because that's the thing that I've been told to do. Uh, but I also have another book to read, so I'ma do that now. Woo! I'm so. What was that? Okay. Okay. Breaking news: a fly went into my mouth. Like, ew, so gross. Oh my god. So, I was just like literally chilling here, like how I am right now, and like I think a fly came from like this window and just went into my mouth. And I tried to, I don't know, I may have swallowed it. I'm not sure. But like, it was so gross and so disgusting. And ew, just like, why is this happening to me? It's me again. I realized that I did not tell you what the rankings of the two books are so far. So, I mean, I think you should have guessed, but essentially, number two so far of the two books I've read is Three Assassins by Kotaro Isaka, and number one is the Devotion of Suspect X. Yes, I don't know why I was going to say the Suspect of Devotion X. It's fine. But what's fun to realize at this point of time is that the Devotion of Suspect X was up by Three Assassins, like up by zero point 0.5 points. Zero point 0.5. Basically, Devotion lost out in terms of the pacing. But everything else, so far, I'm doing great. So this is very exciting stuff. Super happy about it. Let's move on to the next book. Alright, so I started reading the third book and the last book for this Japanese thriller ranking reading vlog, and that is Penance by Kanae Minato. I read Confessions by Kanae Minato last year, and it blew my mind. Like, the way that lady thinks, I was like, what's going on, buddy? It was just like, basically, she does this thing which she's doing with this book as well, where she has these really long sort of chapters that go on for like 20-30 pages at least. I think it's like about, this one was about 40 pages, and where you have one person telling you their perspective on a certain thing that happened, and then it's like something shocking or whatever, and in the end some really fucked up shit happens, and you're just like, what? Because that's exactly what happened in this book as well, and that's exactly what she did with Confessions. But in this book, essentially, we are following these girls who, when they were really, really young, they were hanging out at like a playground, and one of them is taken away by some man, and well, like trigger warnings for child abuse, and then murdered. So yeah, these children find the body, and then they are like really like, oh my god, what happened? And basically one of them is writing a letter to the mother of that girl, talking about something like her recollection as well as like what she's going through right now. And let's just say at the end of like the like that letter, I was just like, what did you do? So I don't know. And the next chapter is like at a parent teacher meeting at a school, and it's like someone talking like at the parent teacher meeting. I don't know. It's like she does weird stuff, but she always does like, I don't know. She's awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm gonna really like this one. So that's basically where we're at with Penance. I have literally just started and decided to take a break and come and tell you about it. So hopes are high for this one because this is what I thought was going to be my number one. I'm hoping that it is. So far, so good. So exciting stuff. I don't know how to like end these things, like these clips, like one clip at a. So I know this is a Japanese reading vlog, but good morning, by the way. I woke up in the morning and I was like, I want pancakes. So ta-da! I got IHOP. IHOP has just come to India or slash Bombay, and I'm excited. I was like, pancakes, anyone? So yeah, so I've ordered from them. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh no, maple syrup. Oh no, maple syrup everywhere. No. Oh Jesus Christ. Fuck. We sort of figured it out. It's amazing. I want pancakes like rotis. Hello, hello. We are here to talk about the ending of Penance and my thoughts about Penance as a whole, as well as to just wrap up this vlog in general. So, I think with Penance, I think I'm just a teensy weensy bit disappointed. I didn't like the ending, like how it ended. I don't know. I was just like little sad about that one. But I don't know. I think Kanae Minato is just such a skilled writer. She builds these characters so well, and like with each chapter, essentially, we were hearing from a different girl who was there to witness the death of this girl, this young girl, and we get to see what they witnessed as well as the things going on in their lives. And holy shit, like each one of them are just going through some really intense things in their lives, and like each chapter ends with like something really like what the fuck happening in their life, which is just like what, okay. And then in the end we get to hear from the mother of the girl who died, whose name is Emily. I mean, Emily is the girl who died, and like we get to hear from Emily's mom, Asako, I think. But yeah, it's just interesting, the entire book. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil y'all, but check out trigger warnings for like rape and child abuse and child rape. Well, I think that must have been obvious. And yeah, other stuff like that. Yeah, so I would definitely say that because Kanae Minato is a little like, I'm like, girl, you need therapy. That's basically my thought process. But yeah, let's talk about the book based on the criteria. I think number one, what I want to have to point out is characterization is always amazing. I think with each chapter we get to understand the girl and their like personality as well as the things that they've gone through and stuff like that and how that shaped them. So like I'm gonna give this a 9 on 10 because like absolutely amazing. The plot itself, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 because I liked it, but and I thought that the way that it is told in terms of like with each person telling the story, we get to understand more about them, but also like the overall like incident, we get like little more information with each person. So I really like the way that that's done, but unfortunately there was just something about it. I think especially like I just didn't like the end. The end was just, I was like, okay, cool. I don't know, I was a little disappointed by it, that's all. It's not like a bad ending, I was just disappointed by it. So and I've just finished reading it, so it's all like fresh. But yeah, so 7.5. Writing as well, I'm gonna give it a 7.5 because I thought that it was good, but in between I thought that maybe, I don't know, I'm just gonna give it a 7.5. That's just the vibe that I have right now. Pacing wise, I'm gonna give it an 8 because I felt like in between there were some times where For example, there was this time where it was like this speech that this person was giving at like a PTA, or like this girl who was talking when she was pregnant and stuff like that. It just like sort of went on its own tangents in between, so you were just like, okay, but like still I think the writing was really good. 7.5 is still good in my eyes. Sorry, 8 is still good in my eyes. In terms of suspense, I'm going to give this a 7.5 because the overall mystery I sort of figured out. Like, I sort of figured out who was the killer in like the second story itself. However, with each of the individual stories, I did not like see the endings for any of them. Like, I was just like shook it to my core. So again, now my thingy is blinking, the battery thingy, so I'm going to just tell you my predictions were this, and this is what the ultimate ranking is. Each of them are behind by exactly zero point 0.5 points. 0.5 points. So again, I was wrong about my overall ranking, but that's okay. I really enjoyed each and every one of these books. I thought that they were really, really fun, and I would recommend all three of them, in fact. And let me know if you have read them and what your thoughts were. I would love to chat with you down in the comments and just in general or social media, whatever. And yeah, that's what I have for now. I hope you all are doing well, and I will see you in my next video. And like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video, and check out my other content. And that's all. Okay, bye.